Welcome to the podcast from St. Barnabas Lutheran Church in Cary, Illinois. I'm Pastor Sarah Wilson, and we'll be posting gospel lessons and a sermon for you to enjoy each week.
The Holy Gospel according to Luke, the 4th chapter. Then Jesus, filled with the power of the Spirit, returned to Galilee, and a report about him spread through all the surrounding country. He began to teach in their synagogues and was praised by everyone. When he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, as was his custom. He stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was given to him. He unrolled the scroll and found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has appointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." And he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of all in the synagogue were fixed on him. Then he began to say to them, "Today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." The Gospel of the Lord. All right, so now we're going to have the kids come on up. And this worked kind of good in the first service. I'm going to have you can sit on the chairs today. Unless you wanted to sit on the floor. No, it's a little more comfortable in the chairs maybe. Oh, look at Helena's like, nope, I'm taking the floor. Okay. All right. Come on down, Molly. Okay, so we've been talking about encourage, right? Encourage is that mark of discipleship right there, the one on the far right. And we've been talking about different ways we encourage each other. What was really nice, Sammy talked a little bit about a time when she was discouraged, right? Like she was not encouraged in her life, which is perfect because there are times in our lives when we are going to be discouraged. And it's important to think about that and to have a plan for how to deal with it. Now, another time that we could be discouraged is when somebody is discouraging to us. And one of the things that helps with that is, or when we want to be discouraging to someone else too, is to think about what it feels like to be in their place. So I'm going to read you a book today. It's called We Don't Eat Our Classmates. And it's a little bit about what it might feel like if you choose not to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Okay? Are you ready? Okay. Here we go. So here's the main character, and she says, "Hey kids, you will never be eaten by a T-Rex. They are extinct, I promise." Okay, so you don't have to be freaked out. Allie, you don't have to go sleep in your mom's bed tonight or anything because you're scared about T-Rexes. Okay? All right? Okay. Penelope Rex was nervous. It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school. Do you remember, Helena, on your first day of school, were you nervous? Yes, she was too. Penelope was too. What are my classmates going to be like? Will they be nice? How many teeth will they have? This was very important. Interesting what a T-Rex room looks like. Penelope's mom bought her a new backpack with ponies on it. Ponies were Penelope's favorite because ponies are delicious. Penelope's dad packed her a lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches and 1 apple juice. Could you eat 300 tuna sandwiches? It's like a life supply. I think you're right. Unless you don't like tuna sandwiches. Finally, the big day came, and Penelope Rex was very surprised to find out that all of her classmates were children. What? So she ate them because children are delicious. Penelope Rex, said Mrs. Noodleman, "We don't eat our classmates. Please spit them out at once." So she did. I don't think this is going to be very pretty. It was not the best way to start school. Still, Penelope was determined to have a good first day. Anybody want to try going in a T-Rex's stomach? Maybe not so much. She tried hard to make friends at recess. It looks like she wants them to slide into her mouth, though. She finger painted some of her best work. You see the little picture of her eating a child? She even saved Griffin Emery a seat at lunch. "You can sit here on my plate," she says. Penelope started to notice everyone was making friends but her. It was lonely. When she got home, her dad asked about her first day of school. "I didn't make any friends," Penelope cried. "None of the children wanted to play with me." "Penelope Rex," her father asked, "did you eat your classmates?" "Oh, maybe sort of, just a little bit." "Sometimes it's hard to make friends," said her dad, "especially if you eat them. You see, Penelope, children are the same as us on the inside, just tastier." That gave Penelope a lot to think about. You see she has ponies on her bedspread. The next day, Penelope tried really hard, but poor Penelope, she could not stop herself from eating her classmates. "Mrs. Noodleman, Penelope ate William Amato again!" And they were all afraid of her. Except Walter. Walter was a goldfish. So Penelope tried to make friends with him. "Will you be my friend?" Chomp. "Eee!" cried Penelope. "He's eating my finger! Wah!" Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. She stopped eating her classmates, even when Cece Woodman spilled barbecue sauce all over herself. And soon Penelope made friends. "Found you. Want a brownie? I helped make them." Now, even when children look especially delicious, she peeks at Walter and remembers what it's like when someone tries to eat you. And Walter, the goldfish, stares right back at her and licks his lips. Because dinosaurs are delicious. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't seem to make sense, but somehow Penelope... Okay, Adam and I are going to have a conversation about fish and try to figure this out. But for the rest of us, I kind of like that story because it reminds me that sometimes I have to put myself in the other person's shoes in order to understand what they're going through and to be encouraging to them. I have a feeling that there have been times in your lives when you've felt discouraged. Like maybe somebody has been discouraging to you, and maybe it has to do with the fact that they don't understand what it's like to be you. I don't know. So, we're going to take a few minutes for everybody to have a little conversation amongst yourselves. You might have to move. You might have to talk to people you've never met, which means you might have to introduce yourselves. And then if you see somebody sitting, kind of off to the side, maybe you need to be encouraging and go sit by them. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit. You might share a time when you felt discouraged, and you might share a time when you felt encouraged with each other and what that looked like. And I have a feeling it's going to look different, which kind of goes with our first reading, the one from Corinthians, about how everybody has different gifts. Everybody has different ways that they feel encouraged also. And all those different ways are important and good. So I'm going to send you guys out to find people to talk to. And then the rest of the people here are going to talk for just 2 or 3 minutes about encouraging. All right? Ready, set, go. Okay, so now that you've been sharing this, hopefully you've maybe learned some new ways to be encouraging, or maybe you've learned some new things about the person that you were talking to. So I'm going to just really make things wacky here. And what I'd like you to do is, with the person that you are talking to, I would like you to pray. I know, out loud. I know, but I know you can do it. So I would like you to pray for each other, and whatever that looks like based on your conversation. All right? I'll give you a couple more minutes, but pray for each other. Okay, go. Okay, I don't see any more bowed heads. Not too many. I hope that was as meaningful for you all as it was for me. And you can do that more often in your own lives. It's a good thing.
Thanks for listening today. We hope this message helped bring you closer to God in a new way. You can learn more about our church at www.stbarnabas-cary.com or visit us in person at 8901 Cary Algonquin Road in Cary, Illinois. Our worship services are each Sunday at 8 and 10:30 a.m. God's blessings on your week.